Welcome back. Well, we have just finished Teledan, so now it's time to move on to the next age. Well, before we go there, we will read the text of that age in this book. One thing I want to point out, by the way, is that on the page before the age we see the symbol related to the age. And we also see this pillar, which indicates where to find the book, in case you hadn't figured that out by yourself. Well, the next age we see this symbol, and I'm not entirely certain what that's supposed to represent. I guess a fortress, because this age is a fortress. The age is called Gahreesen. The laws contrived by the proud are their security and their undoing. Such laws make disobedience a virtue, and obedience a sin. And it's also a quote by the same guy, apparently. So this age is about laws. So let's find the book, which is once again in one of these pillars. It's not this one. It is this one. If you're wondering how I know that, it's because each of the pillars has a symbol on it, which indicates which age it is for. You can see that this symbol doesn't match the one that's in the book, but still. It is the symbol of the Guild of Maintainers, this. And that already tells us something about the age. Now, I told you before that the Guild of Maintainers was the guild responsible for checking out the ages and making sure they were safe. They also made sure that the rules regarding the ages were followed. There were strict rules about what you could write and what you couldn't write, and it was the maintainers' job to make sure that those were followed. And I think they also had something to do with regular law enforcement, which well, relates to the fact that the law was mentioned in those books, in that book, in Relto. Okay, I'm getting confused here. We're in Gahreesen now, and we appear to be standing inside a stone room with the symbol of the Guild of Maintainers on the floor. We see some shadows moving around here, which might indicate that the sun is moving around in the same way it did on Teledan. You can see the outside from here. A single high window. Lots of maintainer symbols. Seems like they really wanted you to know that all of this stuff belonged to them. Thick concrete walls, or stone walls, I'm not sure if it's concrete. Heavy doors. This place is built for security, that's for sure. Here we see a reception desk, basically. We see some cages behind there. So apparently when visitors came to this age they had to report in at these desks. Here we see something from the DRC, our good friends at the DRC. It says, "Please retrieve your key," with an arrow. Now, Douglas Sharper, in his journal, in his office in Dunny, wrote about a device called the key. So perhaps we'll find out what it is now. Well, let's try and follow the arrow. Oh, looks like this way is blocked. I'll go in here though. Here we are on the other side of one of those reception windows, looking back in. A whole bunch of cages here, some of which are open. One of which contains a Bahro linking stone. Well, let's check where that leads us. Well, it takes us once again to the city of Dunny. And I think this is Bevin, our neighborhood in Dunny, which would have been important in Uru Live and will be important in to Dunny later. Right now, not much we can do with it except look at it. Oh, it's pretty. You can see the lake in the cavern. There's some sort of algae in the lake which causes this light. And these algae are on a 30-hour cycle between getting darker and lighter, which means that the Dunny day was 30 hours, not 24 like ours, because they cannot see the sun from here, even though they're on Earth. You also find a tablet with some inscriptions on it. This looks like Relto, and the pillars that we are collecting, and some images of the Bahro. This looks like the Relto cave where we found the pillar. You can see that it's located above the Starfisher. And there's another cave with 4 more pillars. And this one appears to be located above the city of Dunny. What could that mean? Well, that's all we can do here, so let's get back to Gahreesen. If we look at our books here now, if we look at this book, which we hadn't looked at before, it links to the neighborhood we just visited, and the place we just linked to, the balcony, has been added to the book. Before, it only had this one. We will use that book when we get to Dunny. For now, let's go back to Gahreesen. Well, we hadn't touched any journey cloths yet, so the link back to the beginning. Fortunately, we hadn't gone very far yet. Okay, and we're back. Oh, and now I walked into the door, but anyway. Let's get back to this room. Is there anything else here? Oh, a helmet from a maintainer's suit, similar to the one we saw in Teledon on the desk. Nothing else in these closets? Oh. I didn't even know you could push that around. But apparently you can. Is there anything in here? No. It's just a graphical glitch. Okay, now we come to this room. This is the key machine. And we were supposed to get our key here. And now we've got it. Key looks like a bit like a wristwatch, except it's worn around the hand and not the wrist. And we see now that here the key symbol has appeared. And that's because we're running complete chronicles here. If you just run the original Uru, you don't get all the key functionality immediately. You just need to use the key to open some doors here in Gahreesen, but because we are running we were running Complete Chronicles, which includes the Dunny, we get complete key functionality. Most of the stuff we can't really use yet. We can use it to take pictures, which are actually stored as JPEG files, so you can watch them at your leisure later. Okay, I'm really running out of time, so I have to end this video now.